Hey guys and gals, your old pal EM-PINMAN here again, coming at you with the first tip of the day. That's right, the first tip of the day of 2022. So I know you guys really like these, so I figured I'd put one out for you. I know some of you have been curious about what kind of products I use on cleaning a playfield on, say, a machine I just bought. Well, here you go. I got them on the old round table here, so gather around and I'll discuss how to clean that playfield the proper way and safely. All right, so over the course of years, I've changed products around for a bit. So what I'm discussing now is the products I currently use. I've changed because of finding out some products work better than others over the years. Some are more safe than others. So bear with me on that one. My assortment of what I work with now could change in the future. That's just how it goes, because new products come out, better products, things that can do a better job cleaning and maybe even be a little bit more safer for the playfield. The one thing remember is just, hey, the least amount of water you can put on a playfield, the better. So always try to find a product that has as minimal water content as possible. All right, so first thing you want to do after you've stripped your playfield down, so pretty much, I'm going to rebuild pop bumpers and flippers and stuff like that. So all that stuff's out of my way when I'm tearing down a playfield on top. And basically, the only thing I'd be leaving on would be like the wood rails that guide the ball, and ball rails, the pins that help, keep the ball from spinning and flying down into the out hole too fast. Those kind of things. But pretty much everything else is off the playfield. Now, before you get into the chemical part of cleaning your playfield, you want to find yourself some gloves. Now, I use these basically. They're heavy-duty rubber gloves. They'll pretty much keep any kind of chemicals off my skin in that. Naphtha is a real nasty chemical. You don't want to have that soaking into your skin. Other chemicals as well you might be using. Always wear gloves. So, with that in mind too, there's these surgical gloves you can get too, the disposable kind. I generally use these when I'm doing polishing and stuff. Yeah, I like using the heavy duty gloves, but that's me. Okay, so getting into this, I just get some paper towels like so, tear them up, put them in the little quarters, grab your naphtha, and that's going to be the main stuff to clean the playfield with, to get out the loose dirt initially and mildly ground in dirt. Should do a good job. Usually I do 2 passes with it. The first one will get off all the muck and that, and the second pass is basically just to clean up the playfield from all the runny, yucky stuff that comes off. I used to use 91% plus rubbing alcohol. You can get a higher content one, but it turns out that the playfields with like a lacquer clear coat will suffer from that because it tends to soften the lacquer. So I stopped doing that, basically because naphtha was the better product that didn't do that. So something to keep in mind. Now, you can still use rubbing alcohol if, say, you got a European playfield, like you have your Sonic playfields and Resells and that, because they used what was an automotive clear coat, and they're tough, same thing that they use today on cars. And the rubbing alcohol won't cut into that. It won't soften it at all. It's just the chemical bonds is too tough for that to happen. So anyway, something to keep in mind there. So if you got a European playfield, you'll probably be fine using either or, of these guys. But for your American Gottliebs and Williams and Chicago Coins and Valleys, stick to your naphtha. Alright, so you've used your naphtha and your paper towels and that, and you've got it basically clean, but maybe you got some ball swirls and so a little bit of planking. There's dirt still stuck in there and that. Well, then you go to the next phase. Now, you're still going to be using your good old naphtha here for round 3, but what you're going to use in addition to that is something called Mr. Clean Magic Erasers. Now, get the original one. You don't want any extra fragrances or any of that stuff. You don't need it. After you clean your playfield, it'll smell nice and fresh, and you won't have to worry about that. So anyway, with the Mr. Clean, what I do is I cut it. Now, it comes in bricks, but I cut it into these little squares. And these little squares do really well. So you soak these little squares and you go at it, and And be very careful with this. Once you get to this step, you have to make sure that you're not taking off any clear coat in that, because you might already, with the planking stuff you already have and ball swirls, you already have cracks in the clear coat. So you want to make sure you don't really start digging into that more and taking it off. Now you'll know, because you should be just pulling up dirt off of this thing. If you start seeing color coming off, a little red, a little blue, a little that, okay, you're starting to get into the ink now. You've gone too far. You need to back off and just quit. You're done. That's it. All you want to do is basically do a wipe off of the magic eraser with some naphtha and clean that off. But like I said, with this, it's really a deal where you have to be careful. Watch what you're doing as far as pressure and that. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser's great stuff. Sometimes I don't even need to use that. Now there'll be times where you could just do the 2 passes of naphtha and paper towels, and my last machine I did, that's all I needed. So when you're getting to the magic eraser, it's because something's really been kind of let go and abused over the years, or more like neglected. So keep that in mind. Alright, so you're doing well so far, right? You've gotten your playfield basically cleaned. It looks really good now. You've gone over it with the naphtha and paper towels. Maybe you had to go as far as the magic eraser. So now you're kind of done with that part. What's next? You say, hey, I gotta keep going here. This is looking great. So what you're gonna do next is grab some Novus 2. Novus 2 is basically a plastic polisher, but works great on playfield finishes and that. So you want to get that, and what I use with that too is Novus microfiber cloth. So you can buy these together, whoever the vendors are that sell Novus. You can pick it up online. These are basically pretty much pinball items, so any reputable pinball parts store will have it. So what I do is I get these Novus cloths, and they come in like little sheets, but I cut them into little strips so you can see about how big they are, and then I fold the strip, and then what I'll do is I'll get some Novus 2, put it on there and go at it and do the whole, circular motion thing like you would if you're waxing, your playfield and that. So I go at it once around with that. That should be all you need. Go ahead and polish it up. Even go over it with the places that were iffy that you had, maybe you're starting to get a little ink up when you're doing the naphtha and that with the magic eraser. But you should be fine with the Novus. I've never had any problems with it taking up any ink or anything like that. So once you're done with that, let it dry. It's kind of like a waxing process, and just go over it with like a rag, a clean rag to polish it out, buff it out a bit. I like using old t-shirts that are clean and 100% cotton. They work great. You get a nice polish out of that. So that's what I do with the polishing step. So onward. Okay, some miscellaneous items. I have some cotton swabs here. I use those with maybe a little bit of rubbing alcohol or naphtha to get in between a tight spot, like in between playfield pins, that the balls hit, so they slow them down and that. And then also the like the railings. You might have the wood railings or metal railings, and there's some tight spots in between or something like that. You can get in there with that and underneath those things with the cotton swabs. That'll help you out a bit there. Another thing too, Novus 1. Novus 1 and some paper towels. That'll help you out with playfield plastics. You can use that, or you could use a window cleaner like Windex, because it turns out if you ever pop the cap on this stuff, it smells just like Windex. So that's pretty much what it is. It won't hurt playfield plastics as far as that. I never had anything as far as any ink loss. You can do front and back on those. It'll clean up really nice. What you want to watch out for though is like plastics with ink on them. The printed ink, say on pop bumper caps or pop bumper bodies and that. You use this stuff, you'll start smearing the ink. Ink doesn't hold up too well to much as far as chemicals, so you don't want to put any chemicals on any kind of ink product like that. It'll take it right off. You'll be bummed, especially if you got an old pop bumper that looks nice and the ink was nice, and next thing you know you smear it and you will not be happy. Let's just say that. Also, what you can use for that though is just a little bit of dish soap and water, and you can clean up pop bumpers and the caps with the ink and stuff. I've never had any ink loss on that. You just need a little bit. You want to get obviously the little dirt that's on those things, loose dirt and that. They're usually not too grody. If they are too grody, you probably have to replace them anyway. So just a tip on that, and on to the next phase. Alright guys and gals, well if you made it this far, I applaud you. I haven't bored you to death yet, but we're on the final stage here. So you've polished up your playfield, you've done the little extra doodads here and there. Next up, last up, wax. What you want is this stuff right here. Great stuff, Mother's Carnauba wax. Now, basically I have to buy this online. The automotive stores have the one that has cleaners in it. You do not want that. You've already cleaned your playfield, it doesn't need any more cleaning. If you keep cleaning it, you're going to end up going right through the wood and into the inside of the machine. Next thing you know, you're going to be looking at all your mechanicals in the cabinet going, oh no, I think I've gone too far. Yes, don't let that happen to you. But anyway, yes, this is the stuff you want. Remember, no cleaners, just plain old Brazilian Carnauba wax. It doesn't have to be Mother's, but I like this brand because it works. It dries nicely, it polishes nicely, and it's reasonable. So usually I get mine on like eBay or Amazon and that. Also, what I use once again, Novus cloth. So you get that, and you get your little strips like I showed you before, you know, you fold them over, and next thing you know, do that little circular motion thing, and you're on your way there. Generally I do 2 coats, so do the first one, and then I'll go ahead and let it dry. I'll polish it out later with, once again, another t-shirt that's used, 100% cotton clean. Does a real nice job. It's nice to have those old t-shirts around, let me tell you. And basically, then I go to the second coat and I do the same exact thing. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, you should have a beautiful looking playfield at that point, and you can start reassembling after you clean all your, you know, doodads and stuff, the parts that you got. Hopefully you got lots of new parts that you can put on and make it really nice and shiny. So with that said, we'll just go on to the next thing. Hey guys and gals, just wanted to make an announcement, a couple things. Number one, we have the comment section open now, so starting on this video you can post a comment. Great stuff, because it hasn't happened now in a while. There's a few bad apples in the past, but hey, that's behind us. So let's move forward. Let's have some fun. That's what pinball's about anyway, right? So if you want to leave a comment just how great the video is, how you liked it, or you could post something like, hey, can you do a video, EM-PINMAN, of, say, this machine? I want to see the gameplay of Expressway. Or maybe you want to ask a question. Maybe I'll even, you know, with you guys asking questions, maybe I'll do a question and answer video. You could also ask stuff like, hey, could you do a video on, say, polishing products you use? That would be kind of a nice one there. You know, how I treat metal as far as cleaning and polishing. That would be cool. At least I think so. But anyway, yeah, just go ahead and post in comments. Just keep in mind, this is not a pinball repair channel, so if you come on saying, my machine's broken, what do I do? That's not what we do here. So there's plenty of YouTube channels that deal with that, so please refer to them. Number two, hey, if you guys are liking these videos like the one I just did, let's do something fun and special. Tell you what, I know I post videos infrequently, so I will make you a deal. If I get 30 likes on this video, as soon as I get those 30 likes, I will have another video out to you guys within a week. How's that? So no more waiting a month or two, whatever. It's up to you. If you really like what I'm doing, this is what motivates me. Go ahead and post some likes. So tell you what, as soon as we hit 30 likes, I'll start working on the next video for you. And we'll just go from there. So fun stuff, good stuff. So I'll see you on the next video, and thanks to all my subscribers and everyone who watches. So you have a good one now. Bye-bye.